What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? What's happening? Another episode on Run Your Mouth Podcast Show with your boy, one and only, Alonzo G. Wilson Jr. The G is for gamble. No dice, though. Big man, because I do big things. Mr. A Game, Executive Road Runner. Y'all know why. Because I travel the world and I gets the job done. Another episode, baby, on Run Your Mouth Podcast Show, and we lit, and we live. What's good, everyone? What's going on, everybody? It's another episode on Run Your Mouth Podcast Show with your boy. Glad to be back in the booth. This is the day that God has made. I shall rejoice and be glad in it. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? But beautiful day. Man, the last couple days in South Florida have been absolutely beautiful. I mean, hermoso dia. Beautiful. El lindo dia. Beautiful. I mean, I'm telling you, you got to enjoy this cool weather in South Florida. It's very rare. Very rare. And so when we get it, you got to enjoy it. You have to. Regardless of what's going on in your life, hey, step outside. Get a little fresh air. You know, go look at the sun a little bit. Just get a little sunlight. Go for a walk. Go do something. But just, enjoy the beautiful weather that we have in South Florida. Yeah, Lord. But yeah, I was digging in my bag and, I said, you know what, let me share this with the people. Let me tell them a little something about my college experience. So most of you guys, a lot of people that really don't, that know me, like in high school, most of them know I started off at Jamestown College in North Dakota. This was 2003. I went to Jamestown College in Jamestown, North Dakota, all the way from Florida. Let that sink in, y'all. From Florida to North Dakota. Talk about a culture shock. I mean, a complete scenery change. Ain't no palm trees over there in North Dakota. Nah, ain't no beaches in North Dakota. Nah, you ain't got that down. As a matter of fact, Walmart was your mall. In that town, everybody at Walmart, huh? Okay. Walmart was the mall. This is 2003 now, in Jamestown, North Dakota. Small town. Small little town. Got a lot of history, though. Not too far from Canada. A couple hours away from Canada. But, yeah, man, ain't much to do over there. Totally different. I tell you another thing. By the time the end of September hit, well, look at here. Boy, you're gonna be shoveling snow. You're gonna need about 4 or 5 jackets, 4 or 5 long pants on at a time, cause it get cold. And don't let December hit. Lord have mercy. Well, we talking about -0 degrees and -50 wind chill. Y'all let that sink in. Huh? Where they cancel school. And you can hear on the intercom all throughout the campus and on the news. People, don't stand outside in one spot for more than 10 minutes or you may freeze to death. Yeah. This is North Dakota I'm talking about. So y'all let that sink in for a second. It's already below zero for the temperature, but it got a negative 50 wind chill. Lord have mercy. While I sat in that room, boy, I'm like, God, Lord have mercy. What did I get into? But see, I had to get up out of there. Man, look here. Boy, it was going down. You got, listen. Boy, look at him. It was going down where I grew up at. So either you gonna go to college or you gonna be stuck there trying to hustle, trying to get a job, trying to keep a roof over your head. You know what I'm saying? Trying to stay alive. Trying to stay out of trouble. All that. So, I had a jet. I had to get up out of there, regardless of the circumstances. And on top of that, Big Mama, Grandma Care Bear, God bless you, Dad. She passed that year, right before I was leaving to go to college. So at that time, it was so hectic. The only thing on my mind was get up out of there. And that was really the only real opportunity I had besides Kent State. Because it was just, man, look here, boy. But I felt like, man, you had teachers and coaches in places to keep you down. I ain't lying. At my high school, Boynton Beach High, man, I felt like teachers and coaches and, peers, they was only in place to try to keep you down. So I had to get up out of there. I had a jet. I had to get up out of there, so I landed in North Dakota, y'all. But that ain't really what I wanted to talk to y'all about. The reason why I brought up college is because you never know who you're going to meet. If you know anything about college and you're a freshman, you know that freshman year you guaranteed to live on campus. They put you in dorms, especially if you're an athlete. And boy, look at here. We had they call it a resident assistant, a dorm orderly. She a lady. She's always in the dorm. She's looking out, making sure everybody walking a straight line, going to school, all this. You're not breaking the rules. Just like a landlord, taking care of the dorm. And so I met the lady. And I guess she took a liking to me. And so she started to share, a little bit of her background. And she said, Alonzo, let me tell you something. I haven't told one student this. Listen, I came all the way from Florida. Ain't no telling how long she been working there. But she chose to sit me down and tell me this story. She said, you know something? One of my first boyfriends in high school, or high school sweetheart, was Phil Jackson. Yeah. I said, huh? Phil Jackson, Los Angeles Lakers, Chicago Bulls, coach. Yeah. I said, come on. She said, yeah. He's from North Dakota, Wilshire or something like that, North Dakota. And they went to high school together. And man, the lady told me that. I was like, wow. So you know me, I'm gonna go do my little research. Our school was really good at basketball, and there was a gymnasium that our basketball team would play in Jamestown, North Dakota. And it was in the town. Like, it was separate from the school. We had a practice gym, but we had a gym where we play all our games. It was in the town. And in that town, in that gymnasium, in that stadium, here it go. Phil Jackson, name in a plaque on the wall in that stadium. Yeah. So my resident assistant, freshman year in college in Jamestown, North Dakota, dated the legend, the great Hall of Fame coach, Phil Jackson, for Chicago Bulls and Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah. But I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, you just never know who you're going to meet. I'm coming all the way from Florida. See, listen. Well, It don't matter where you go, you never know who you're going to meet. So that was like, it made North Dakota cool because I ran into her. She told me this story and, you know what I mean? And so it was kind of like the highlight of my college experience at Jamestown College in Jamestown, North Dakota. I ain't stay there long. I'm coming all the way from Florida. Well, all I could do was a year. And on top of that, but it was just too, man, I had a teammate that came up there with me. I had a cousin that came up there with me. So look, I was trying to get away from distractions, and the distractions followed me up there to Jamestown, North Dakota. So I definitely was trying to get up out of there. You hear me? But I wanted to share that with y'all, man. I met Phil Jackson, high school sweetheart. It probably don't matter to anybody, but that was like one of the best things that happened to me in Jamestown, North Dakota. It was plenty more, but that was one of them. That was the highlight because this lady chose to tell me this story out of all people. And so I wanted to share it with y'all. Yeah. But I hope y'all like that. This Run Your Mouth podcast show. And I keep something in my bag. But that was a college story for y'all. I got plenty more college stories, like I got plenty more prison stories for you. I got plenty more stories in the bag. But y'all stay tuned. And be waiting for the next episode. You dig? And I'm out.